Hello, hello, hello. Hi. I need to send these out. I've been holding on to these for, excuse me, like 4 months. I'm gonna send them out this week because they got to be mailed out before I leave. So anyway, hi, hello, welcome to Real Koruk. Real Koruk. My name is Patrick. If you're new here, hi, welcome. If you aren't new here, hi, welcome. What am I doing today? So I was pulling cards earlier. I was getting I just pulled a few cards from the Water-Known Alchemy. And I saw separation and wise salt. And it made me think of decanting, like the decanter of endless waters. Ooh, the Reaper and the Erudite. Interesting. This is Virgo and Scorpio. But anyway, hey Holly. This is live. I should pre-record something. I thought about it. So I was live. I was pulling earlier, and separation, wise salt, and then the energy of the decanter sort of came out, and it made me think of like something like evaporation being used to separate a condensate out from a liquid. Like if you boil off all the water and then you're left with the salts. But also, it was something about delivery. So, like, let's say that you're trying to deliver wise salt to a person, and it's whatever that fancy word is. It's like administrative pathways, where it's like, would you just sprinkle the salt on food that you're going to eat? Would you just eat the salt? But it was more so like dissolving the salt in a liquid medium and then like injecting or drinking the liquid, like the water carrying the salt. And then I was like, oh, like I could do something like that. Hey, how you doing? To be like, what is the thing and what is the medium in which it's delivered? There's an Ace of Swords again. And the Lovers. Sacred Cinnabar. I have the SKT Revelations and Vitruvian editions because I love the SKT. So. Really? Yeah. I know Rob was like, where's Patty's 10 p.m. window? There's the 8 of Wands. That's a card I've been seeing a lot. Oh, so also the birds are back. I think I first noticed it maybe 2 days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. I feel like some of the calm of yesterday has carried over into today. We're going to do... Let's see. Timestamps is so much easier when I can do them live, which is the benefit of going live on a desktop because I can edit the description while I'm live. We'll say 0000 intro. We'll do 440. Okay, maybe not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do at least 3 signs to go, what is the thing? What is the mode of delivery? I want to do at least 3. I guess instead of signs, no, I want to do it by sign. Oh, that may be, it's fine. I'm only committing to 3 right now. Today is non-alcoholic Tuesday. It was almost another mixed drink day, but I didn't finish my coffee first, and I didn't want to mix coffee and alcohol, so I didn't. I was feeling iced coffee today. Okay. And I know, like, I took a pharmacy class. Did they? Oh, that means whenever you see a seagull, that's Patricking somewhere. Tell them Patrick said hi. They'll treat you nice. It'd be funny if they really did. I almost want an Oracle deck too. I wanted to do 1, 3. I thought about the energy Oracle cards. 2. Oops. Here's the Happy Tarot. I was looking for the Happy Tarot. I got the Whispers of Ganesha. I haven't used those in a minute. I'll do this. This is like the only Oracle deck I have in there. So. Ba-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Where does this fit in? Oops. We'll see. I don't own the rights to that song. As you can see, I am not packing. Today, it may be a little packing light. Today is more of a business day. It's more like resume and starting that process. And then the rest is more packing. All right. So how am I going to choose a sign? How am I going to choose a sign? I've been a fan of the dice lately. I kind of want to roll instead of using Google to roll a virtual die. I kind of want to roll a real one. I wish I had. These are kind of heavy. So I'm going to use a different one. Now he's. Oh. All right. I have not. So, through my job, their school aid, it happens after my severance period is over. So that would be like the winter semester. Unless there's a place with, I guess, rolling enrollment. I just had a thought. There is a destination in mind that I am pursuing, I guess. Pursuing is a strong word. There's a destination in mind that I am putting coins into the wishing well of. And we'll see what happens. Is this the right? These feel so light. These feel like toys. Two tourists. So, Taurus. What's in Taurus? Uranus is in Taurus. I think that's it. It's been so many minutes. We'll say 10:30 for Taurus. All right, Taurus. Hi, hello. You are the first sign since Capricorn that I've done in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Vitruvian SKT to get a thing, and then the Revelations to get the method of transport. The defector, Saturn and Pisces came out. And the bereaved, Saturn and Libra, is at the bottom of the deck. The defector, Eight of Cups, it feels like it's about letting your intuition be your guide. I think Let Your Conscience Be Your Guide is a song that Jiminy Cricket sings, right? Like, I haven't heard it, but I feel like it's a thing. I know it's a thing that Jiminy Cricket would say, but I feel like Jiminy sang it. But instead of it being your conscience, it's your intuition. But it's your intuition in a very validated way. It's like following signs, symbols, and synchronicities, but they may be small. The High Priestess. I'll get one more. Sanctuary of Isis. I feel like Isis is associated with Taurus for some reason. I'm thinking of the Empress. And she's reading Isis today. Followed by the Erudite and the Shining Flame. Embers of the Salamander. So Taurus. This is weird. It feels like something is being delivered to you through your intuition. Ew, what was that? Like an eyebrow? An eyelash? Was it in an eyebrow? Probably a mustache hair anyway. It feels like something is being delivered or spoken through your intuition, which doesn't necessarily feel entirely. It feels like the way that we interpret and interact with our intuition, it doesn't feel entirely different, but it's like there's a point, a purpose, a reason, and energy behind it. And it's almost like it may be using your intuition to guide you to it. Lux ex tenebris, light from darkness. Sanctuary of Isis and Hermit of the Mysteries. Oh, Isis, literally right there. Isis in the Sanctuary of Isis. You look at the crown of the High Priestess, you see her right there. Oops, I put that back on wrong. This is a lot of Saturnian energy. Saturn is in Pisces, sextiling, just Pisces and Taurus in general, sextile. I don't know if Uranus and Saturn are specifically sextiling. Like it feels like, especially here, like there's some kind of darkness that the stars are guiding, the light of these stars is guiding you through. So maybe this is related to you being on your internal walk as you are hermiting in whatever capacity that is. There's almost something that draws you in deeper. It's like there's something calling to you from inside of you. Or there is something calling to you from outside. And it could be a person, a job, you going to a specific location, whatever. But it's like it's not necessary. I guess it is kind of like breadcrumbs. Embers of the salamander is the shining flame. This is so weird. I didn't expect for you to be so whatever this is to us. There we go. Steadfastness, number 32. Bottom of the deck is sustenance. We see Lord Ganesha on the back of an elephant. And it's giving me like two aspects of the same type energy. This is almost like if you have been guided or led by your intuition, discernment in a certain direction, you may be finding out why or who or what. I guess this could be you coming upon your purpose in life. Excuse me. And it could be related to who you are. Watching The Magicians, and they're on a quest to save magic right now. And one of the main protagonists is like, I know that like as I'm completing this quest, I'm becoming the person who I'm becoming the version of myself that is capable of completing the quest as I am in the process of doing it. But me as I am, I can't do it. And that was like his whole thing. Like during the process, you become the person who is capable of doing whatever. And that's the hero's journey, to become more. And then there's a character that gives him a counterpoint of, what if you doing this quest is just like basically you being who you are? And what if it doesn't require anything more of you than for you to be more of you? And so they encounter a problem. and she acquires a solution. So he is like, I have to be more than who I am to do the quest, and me going through the questing process is going to help me become that. To be that, I will become that. She is the one that's like, what if you are already who you need to be? You just have to be that fearlessly and authentically. So they run into a problem. She finds a solution. He's like, how did you convince whoever to give this to you? And she was like, I stole them. She was like, I stole it. See, she was like, she said she's basically, in so many words, not a great person, and she can be very self-centered and whatever. And she was like, see, like, this is me being me. I stole it. And that's how we got it. And he's like, wait. But anyway, I feel like this is almost a combination of the two. But it's more like you are being led to who it is that you've always been. But the process of this quest reveals to you like how to be that, or it reveals subtleties in dynamics that allows for you to know how to play, know how to utilize your strengths, I guess, would be a way to put it. And then we see the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands was the only knight that we didn't see yesterday. And here it is for you, Taurus. Whew, girl, I don't know. We'll see. So this could be your inner voice. This could be you reaching out to you through your intuition. And usually, like, let's say it's the voice of the divine or some aspect of it that communicates to us through our intuition, or it's the knowing that rises to the surface, but it's utilizing your intuition. You, some aspect of you is utilizing your intuition to lead you to it. Whoa. I don't know if I'm I'm gonna go for as long as I can, I guess. And then we'll see how many of these I get through. I've been wanting to do an all signs, kind of. All right. That was like 10 minutes. Woo! Okay, I'm not going to count it. It was 9, but I touched it. 1. Aries. Maybe we're just going backwards through the zodiac. Maybe I should just do that. Nah. What would be the fun in that? Let's say 2330. Aries. I love the fact that I can edit timestamps while I'm live. What is coming up for Aries? What's in the vicinity of Aries? We had New World Order and the 4 of Swords, which is an energy of you almost having done a lot of the work on the front end. Like maybe there was a period of your life, however recently, where there was like a lot of things that you were sort of like doing, creating, cultivating, like you planted a lot of seeds and now they're starting to grow. It's almost like the fruit of your efforts. Your efforts are bearing fruit, but when a seed, it's like it takes a lot of energy for the seed to break through the earth and then for the bud to blossom. And it's almost like, because energy isn't created or destroyed, when the energy is expended to like burst open or to burst through, it's like you have a momentum bank or something. Like you're riding the momentum of, it's almost like explosions. Like if you've, No spoilers. Spoilers for if you haven't seen Three Body Problem. I guess I didn't have to name the show. I could have just said it. Light spoilers for Three Body Problem. Pause it now if you don't want to know. 3, 2, 1. So it's almost like you're writing these explosions. Hey Perry, how you doing today? In the show, they're trying to launch something, right? And what they do is they place bombs in space a certain distance apart and they create this sail. And so they attach the sail to a vessel, and as the vessel passes the bomb, it detonates, and the explosion creates a momentum that propels the vessel forward. The sails catch that. So the sail, I guess, would be the converter of that energy after it's expended. Excuse me. And it's like that. It's like riding all of this, like flowers blossoming, seeds cracking through the earth, things happening. And it's like you're riding the momentum of all of that. And then we have your Martian sibling, Scorpio. And then there it is again. Ace of Swords and the Reaper. Ooh. Okay. I almost want to see what the sale is, but the Dark Horse. Oh, okay. That's like 3 cards. Bottom of the deck is the Reaper. This is interesting because this Aries season, it felt like Mars had done a fair amount of self-exploration to the point where it didn't have to overcompensate for something. And because Mars wasn't overcompensating for something, it lessened the polarity. It dampened the polarity between Aries and Scorpio, between the masculine and feminine sides of Mars. And so, in some ways, it's almost like it didn't make it any weaker, but it made it softer. It's like a Mars that, instead of it being so easily provoked, or instead of it being a Mars that keeps its strength on display, it's a Mars that flexes its muscles when it needs to. North Node, thank you. We are in the last 6 months or so of North Node Aries. And it's funny because when Taurus came out, I thought Taurus North Node, but I was like, North Node isn't in Taurus anymore. Or I thought of the time that I did Taurus's reading. I think it was a Lafruma series that I did. And it had an energy of the North Node. Don't go waving that sword around or something like that was what it was titled. You have the 7 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the Magician. This is Mars in Leo, Jupiter in Leo, the Dark Horse, the Champion, the Magus. As above, so below. With the Reaper at the bottom of the deck. Passage to initiation. Yeah, these two together, it's a very low-key and almost understated energy. I ain't trying to get no cards wet. We got some loose condensation. And again, it's that, like, all of the power of the champion, but without the need to display it. It's there if you need it, but you don't have to go out into the world full whatever. So this is almost too, because the Magician is here, it's almost an energy of prioritizing. Mercury, Jupiter, and Mars. It feels like Mars and Mercury sit at the table of expansion. Mercury is able to communicate it. Mars is the follow through. And then there's this Leo energy, almost giving fifth house like creative projects, creation. But also it puts you at the center of it in some way. And then the Two of Wands. What's that? Mars and Aries at the bottom of this deck. There you go. You and your ruling planet. As above, so below. Again, there's some kind of, oh my gosh, she's here again. What? Oh my gosh. You could be an Aries with some Taurus in your chart. We got the moon in Capricorn, and then Saturn and Libra at the bottom of the deck. The high priestess and the priestess and the demon, which is the high priestess and the devil. Sanctuary of Isis and battling the typhon. Now, here's the sanctuary of Isis. Here's Isis at the bottom of the deck this time. The bereaved, the Three of Swords, and there she goes again. That's why I was like, you could have some Taurus in you. See, but the demon here, it's giving me more. I mean, the Reaper is here, but it's giving me more like underworld, Hades, devil type energy. But maybe that's the difference between the Reaper and the devil. Is the Reaper is a fairy man of sorts. It's very, whatever that word is, hypnopompic, psychopompic, psychopomp. It's a psychopomp, right? What's a hypnopomp? HYPNO. Hypnopompic hallucinations are involuntary, vivid, and sometimes frightening experiences that can occur while waking up. They can feel like an extension of a dream and can involve the senses of sight, sound, and touch. Examples of hypnopompic hallucinations include seeing people or creatures near you, hearing sounds or words, feeling someone touching you, screaming and crying, confusion, embarrassment, inability to explain feelings, a sense of breathlessness, and maybe more. Hypnopompic is not the word I was looking for. Psychopompic was the word that I was looking for. The Reaper is psychopompic. The Reaper is a ferryman of souls. The Reaper is someone who aids in transition, but the devil is like the ruler of hell. And it's not like this is, it's not devil energy how we've seen it. Again, there's some kind of influence. There's some kind of, I guess, influence. There's some kind of energy of Mars becoming more and more versed in the arts of subtlety. It's something about not needing to put your all of your power on full display, or not needing to lead with it. And so there's something about becoming a master of the subtle forces, and that's what this energy is. The underworld, the below, as above, so below. The underworld, the below, is subtle forces. And again, it's the energy of after a flower blooms, after the seed breaks the ground, there is great energy that must be expended for it to do that. But that energy isn't lost. It transforms. Like you are the harnesser of those energies. This could easily somehow, in a way beyond the context of what Patrick was aware of, it could be like dark matter, antimatter, whatever. But it's mostly like becoming a master of the subtle forces. There's also so the Wheel of Fortune is behind, and then Strength is behind the Wheel of Fortune, and the Archangel of Healing is behind that. And then we have the Convalescent. That's North Node, South Node, between Strength and the this Wheel of Fortune number 10 behind the Reaper, which is Jupiter. You got Jupiter in Leo, 6 of Wands. But if you look at the symbols for the High Priestess and the Devil in this deck, it almost looks like the number 10. Here, it almost looks like 1-0. And that's why I was like, oh, well, you got the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Life right behind this Reaper. I think this could also be you. This could be you being put in a position to guide things. I'm going to read it how it's coming across. This is you in a position to guide things the way that you want them to go. But I guess it more so plays out as like there is something that you know to be true, / something that you're manifesting, / something that you know is coming or happening. This would be you in the 3D real world, like gently encouraging those things into existence. Like, let's say that you are knowledgeable of the future in whatever way, and you know that someone is going to go somewhere or whatever. Or let's say that you're like playing matchmaker, I don't know, and you're trying to get somebody somewhere. Like, let's say that there's a surprise party. There's a surprise party for someone that you know, and it's your role in the surprise party to get the person to the party and not ruin the surprise. So you'll be like, hey, like, let's go here and do this, and let's go there and do that. And it's these things that without the person necessarily knowing what's happening, like you are guiding them to their surprise party. So it's like a play on that. Excuse me. It don't necessarily feel malevolent to me. It could be. There's a whole bunch of Aries out there. Or it could be like if you're a therapist and your approach is to guide someone to the thing that they're seeking instead of just telling them. It could be the same. A therapist, life coach, a person who is a mentor or whatever. It's not you telling someone what the answer is, it's you helping guide them to what the answer is. But there's something about you having, it's like Aries being the emperor. Whatever power, whatever authority you have externally, you also have internally. As within, so without, as above, so below. And this is an exercising of that. So this is a lot more like behind the scenes type energy. And maybe that's why the High Priestess is here too. Becoming a master of the subtle. Well, maybe master is a strong word. Well, it says passage to initiation. So being initiated into the subtle. And again, subtlety and whatever the opposite of that is are very different things. Bottom of the deck is personal transformation, number 35. Number 34 came out. See, look at this. Speaking of dark matter, antimatter, whatever, this is little young Lord Ganesh doing space stuff. See, but this is almost like a part of it. To create celestial bodies, there's like multiple ways of going about it. There's a way that is very informed and deliberate, and then there's a way that focuses on the balance, because each celestial body, depending on its mass and the distance between it and the sun, and then the neighboring sort of like planets around it, it's like all of that gravitational balance type stuff. Or there's the method of just creation, and then you like things just fall into balance. Now, obviously, it could be some combination of both, but I'm not trying to break my brain right now. I'm already like, I don't know, but this is a you thing. Aries, I'm a Pisces, so I can kind of see down there a little bit. This is your area of expertise. I'm just a dude who read a Wikipedia article that think I might know a little bit of something, talking to the expert. The two cards that came out, though, we have number 11, embrace, and number 34, capacity to love. Capacity to love and embrace. The reason why I laugh is this is my word for 2024. I went like half a year without saying what my word is. My word for this year is embrace. And capacity to love. Personal transformation, capacity to love, and embrace. I think this embrace and capacity to love is important because it gives all of this a certain context. It helps keep one centered and grounded and in balance. And maybe that's the point. Maybe it helps to create with balance. I want to say create in balance, like two separate words. To create in balance, to create in harmony. There we go. Make it simple. It makes it easier to create in harmony when that openness is there. But whenever we get too full of ourselves and whenever we're too self-centric, it becomes easy to create imbalance. One word, create imbalance. Rather than creating in balance, we create imbalance. But this capacity to love and embrace, that's what, because again, this is so like subtle and behind the scenes. That's the difference between like someone who manipulates people to get them to do what they want by this subconscious, picky, whatever stuff, versus someone who helps people become what they want with the vision that they have. I guess you could say it's the difference between like guiding and controlling. Cool. I don't know what I expect from these. I didn't necessarily expect this kind of depth. Honestly. Maybe I should have used a different deck. It's fine. And Osiris? Well, was Osiris about agriculture? I don't remember if he was or if that was someone else. Okay, cool. Who's next? I kind of want to do Virgo. My brain said Libra. My heart said Virgo. We'll see what the dice says. The dice might say Scorpio. I don't know. Oof. You gotta stay on the table. Taurus. We already did Taurus. Leo. 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 Oh, I keep looking for something. That's not there. I'm low-key feeling like I want to do all of them. But these are taking like 10 to 20 minutes, so I don't know. Oop. All right. I guess we did just see Jupiter and Mars in Leo. The markers were there. Oh, look. There you go. Jupiter and Leo. Moon in Taurus. Moon in Taurus, it's squaring. Moon in Taurus, squaring Jupiter and Leo. The giver, Six of Pentacles. The gardener, Saturn in Taurus. Seven of Orbs is at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to actually get the Whispers of Ganesha card first. For Leo, this feels like a transformation in power dynamics. Hold up. This is Virgo. That was a little preview for you, Leo, I guess. I caught it. I was like, hold up, wait. Virgo, Leo was 5, Virgo was 6. So my heart was right. I was like, my heart says Virgo. And it was Virgo. Okay. Now, all of this Saturnian energy for Virgo, all this Taurian energy for Virgo. But for Leo, it felt like maybe that's awesome. Maybe that's honestly a part of Leo's. Because with the Six of Wands and the Reaper, it felt like Leo sitting on the throne, but then there's some kind of power dynamic, some kind of power shift that happens. And now I'm like, oh, sorry, Leo, it's actually Virgo. But this is timestamped Virgo. So Leo may not even, oh my gosh. I said 3 signs at the beginning of this. I might stick to 3. So Virgo, you get the bread of life, which is the Ace of Orbs, the darkening. The bottom of the deck is the Archangel Commander. Under the Archangel Commander is the Chancellor. And under that is the Initiate. Angel of Justice, Angel of Storms and Battles. Wait. I am still going to get one of these first. Kirsty, just in time. Hello. How are you? Okay. All right. I can shuffle these cards. Guidance and personal transformation. Promise of the future and guidance. Trying to whistle Mario. Bottom of the deck is healing. We see the peacock, gorgeous energy, beautiful. There's something about the many eyes of the peacock. Russ did a reading a while ago. I don't remember if it was a pick a card or not. But there was like a peacock who had eyes in like multiple dimensions or something like that. It was a long time ago. I think this was him on his first trip out of the UK. So was that Portugal? I don't remember. The card that came out though was Splendor. I'm actually going to read this one. Seek and honor the beauty and splendor that is within and around you. Ganesha is surrounded by beauty in this card and is calling it to your attention. Awaken to what you are surrounding yourself with at this moment. See more deeply and be aware of the impact of your surroundings on what you create in your life. Ganesha urges you to let beauty penetrate into your heart. You will naturally respond to this beauty by fostering more care and love, not only in your life, but also in the lives of those around you. If your critical voice has been overactive lately, or you find that you have been dwelling on negative behaviors, take a moment to realign yourself. You arrived in this world as a unique and magnificent individual. The core of your being is whole, beautiful, and filled with love. The essence of the higher self wants nothing more or less than for you to be who you were created to be. Ganesha is standing in a meadow surrounded by flowers. The flowers symbolize perfection and beauty. The variety of colors streams healing, loving energy in your direction. The butterflies symbolize the change and evolution that your soul is undertaking. Remember to have an awareness of your surroundings. See the splendor that is being shown to you and utilize this energy to support your own transformations. It mentioned healing streams, and then, of course, or the variety of color stream, healing, loving energy. And then the healing card is here. Under the healing card is this thing. It's kind of like a blank card, kind of like my title card. Steadfastness is under that. Okay, cool. This bread of life is so interesting because it is so, again, behind the scenes, almost type energy. Ooh, and it's face down. Of course it's face down, because why would it be anything else? The Lovers, mystery of the covenant. That's not a word. Mystery of the covenant. I don't take them as they resonate if they resonate when they resonate. I'm gonna just read these cards. I'm gonna just read them. I love that it's mystery of the covenant and it's face down. I don't have enough alcohol for this. I'm not surprised that under the blank card we have steadfastness. Wait, was this? This was Taurus, not Aries. Aries was personal. I already forgot. If I see it, I may remember. Maybe. Oh, capacity to love and embrace was Aries. There's still. I guess Taurus had it too, though. There was something that was being communicated through intuition or through our intuition. Bread of life is to almost be aware of the machinery, the mechanical nature of the universe. The mechanical nature being, let's say, the building blocks of creation. And then we have mystery of the covenant. The covenant almost being between the spiritual and the physical, or the tangible and intangible. The Archangel Commander, for me, especially in this deck, it's the whole story of the Archangel Commander to me in this deck is one of there's something that we go through in life and we call on the divine and or an angel or whoever to solve it for us, basically. But instead of things being solved for us, we are instead tasked with solving it for ourselves, but not without any guidance, right? So there's something that we can do that we'd rather not do that we wish the divine would have done for us. But in completing the quest, we become a hero, not necessarily the hero that we were when we started. Now, after that, and it's like Archangel Michael specifically, but just generally, it could be anybody, anything. After successful completion, it's almost like see what you can do when you utilize what is within you instead of relying upon the divine to take care of it for you. But beyond that, it is an invitation to explore what more you can do. This is almost a correct use of personal power. And because you have correctly used your personal power, you are granted more, basically. And that's justice here. Now, this is the initiate. Oh my gosh. Behind the initiate is the lovers. And behind the lovers is the demon. And then behind the demon is you, the erudite. We've seen these cards in the Vitruvian edition for this is you. This is Virgo. Okay. If you watch the whole video, you would already know that we've seen him. But if you're curious, we did see him in full color. Whatever this is, this is like brand new. These energies are so what today? These energies are so like WTF. I don't know what I was expecting, but it most definitely was not all this. Because it feels like, regardless of what it seems like for you, this is something completely brand new because it's coming out as the initiate. Maybe there's a certain lens of perception that you acquire because of what you have, because of how you have navigated your journey and because of how you have overcome certain things when your reliances and dependencies kind of sort of fell through, maybe. Maybe it has granted you a certain sight or a certain knowing or whatever. This could be something that's typically withheld for good reason being released. And with the South Node here, maybe you've also had to it's reading some kind of disturbance in the ego. I don't know if that's necessarily the way to put it. Also, my window is open today. Can you tell? I'm looking outside and I'm like, wow, this is one of the last times that this will be my view. Okay. I felt like that a few months ago, I think, when I was sitting outside and I was like, everything is going to change. Like it feels like it's something that's usually kept under lock and key because of one's ego in a way of if you don't know the extent of the power of something, it becomes easy to use it in situations in which it's not called for, and it becomes easy to do way too much. And so there's something about the learning of restraint almost that makes you an ideal candidate for the discovering of something or for something being revealed, because it's almost like it's known that you're not going to misuse it, or because you have the, and I feel like if anybody would do this, it would definitely be like Virgo. If anyone would be able to, even though temperance is associated with Sagittarius, if anyone would be able to manage the output or to properly assess a situation and apply the right amount of whatever, like zodiacally in the zodiac, I'd be like, oh yeah, Virgo. Like, but it feels like something that has been withheld or something that is typically withheld because we can be so, internally motivated but not in the good way. It's almost like our hurt, our pain, our fears, our worries and anxieties in general motivate so much of what we do and so much of what we choose that it would be very difficult to approach something with the level of clarity that's needed. I'm trying, Virgo. Okay. But because you navigated through some situation and you didn't have to be free of hurt, pain, disappointment, whatever, you didn't have to be completely healed, but it's because you navigated in the way that you navigated. It's because you made the choices and decisions that you made, regardless of the circumstances and situations, that makes you trusted. Trusted enough to handle, deal with, see whatever you are being shown or will be shown. The Emperor. This was your face down card. Definitely. Look, commander of intellections. If anybody would be able to do it, it would be Virgo. I think your task, though, will be with healing and splendor. Your task is almost to see the positive, not necessarily the positive. Your task would be to see where something could be applied, appreciated, used wisely. It's like you have this vision with all of the eyes of the peacock to know where something could work, where something could become splendorous and beautiful. Because again, it said both in your life and in the lives around you. In the lives of those around you. I feel like this gets more and more difficult the more I go. But again, mystery of the covenant in the Lovers. We see the ark of the covenant in the Emperor. Right there. This as above, so below wand resting on the throne of this Emperor. The Emperor holding the Ankh. Some kind of power over, not necessarily life and death, but definitely life. And then we have the Chariot under the Lovers. Chariot of Osiris. So this is the first time we don't see. Oh, and we have the Emperor. We don't see Isis. Virgo bringing out Osiris. Okay, Virgo. And then behind the Chariot is Sun in Virgo, the Journeyman, Eight of Orbs. The Journeyman is all about mastering. And then we have the Seeker. And then behind the Seeker is the Tower. The Journeyman is all about, it's like after you master this task, the seventh orb, the mystical, whatever seven is, then you're granted this sort of like wand. And I guess, we'll look at the Tower. And then New World Order and the Demiurge is behind the Tower. With the Quester and the Priestess. Okay, I could keep going. I could. But we see like the two snakes here. So there's something about power being used in a different way Like there's a reason why something was taken, or there's a reason why something is so inaccessible. And because there's a reason why something is so deep in the veil of mystery, like there's a reason why you are going to be given access. You could almost call this Isis Osiris up here. So then this would be like Horus energy, the one that brings order to chaos, the one that makes things right. Oh, and then this would be the eagle, the bird that eats the snake, bringing order to chaos. The snake is in the tree of the lovers, I guess. There it is, right there. That's one of. I don't know. I'm doing my best. This would definitely be something that's like personal to you, though. It's like the right use of power. Greater power being granted to the one who uses power in the right ways, who isn't so far in their own shadow that they're not making their choices and decisions. Their shadow is. Right? Cool. I feel like I should be done. Archangel of Mysteries, angel who illuminates the shadow. The one who illuminates the shadow. Shining flame at the bottom of the deck, lighting in the pyre. Illuminating the shadow. And then there's the Archangel Commander at the cut again. And then there's the Tower again. And a different deck this time. Okay. There we go. Woo! Thank you. I honestly didn't know what this would be. I feel like I'm not even reading these necessarily the way that I started. See, but that's because it was delivered through the Emperor. That's Ace of Pentacles energy. That's delivered through the Emperor. If you are the Emperor, it's the choices and decisions that you make. That's why, like, it's almost entirely like that's something that's given to you more so than by birthright, but because of who you are and how you navigate in the world. It's not given to you because this is your lineage, those are your ancestors, this is who your dad is, you're this star seed or whatever. It's given to you because of who you are as a person. Because there are plenty with the same or similar lineages, parentage, star seed, heritage that wouldn't handle it in the same way. Whose shadow and all of those feelings would distort whatever that is. But because of who you are and the choices and decisions that you make, like you are the medium through which that is expressed. Because you earned it. Priorities. Who's behind it? Priorities and acceptance. Should you choose to accept, there may be some things that you reprioritize. And maybe that's a part of it. Because again, it doesn't feel like you have to be void of shadow or completely healed or whatever. You just like know what your priorities are. And you're like, okay, if this is something that has to be done, it doesn't matter what I think or how I feel. Not that like you invalidate yourself, but you can understand when something is greater than you or when something is beyond you, when something is beyond your understanding, but it's for you to go with it anyway. And because you do, maybe your knowing and your capacity increases. It is expanded by that which you come upon that you know nothing of, rather than you sort of shrinking away from it. I don't know. Maybe we'll go for 4. Oh, goodness. Who's next? Oop. Okay. 2. We've already done Taurus. Number 10, Capricorn. Shout out to the Earth signs. Who said Earth signs finished last? Goodness. Aries is like, oh yeah, I'm an Earth sign now. We'll do 116 for Capricorn. For Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, you are like the only sign that actually got one of the I Ching things. That could have just happened, honestly. But let's see. What is the giver and the healer? This is because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It's reading like it doesn't have to be bitter pills to swallow. The giver of healing. I was going to say like it's harsh truths and bitter pills, but it doesn't have to be. The giver of healing is Capricorn. You have the stronghold of the flame, herald of the awakening, with the destroyer, 10 of swords at the bottom of the deck. Herald of the Awakening, Capricorn. Herald of the Awakening. Wow. Well, let's see. What's the message? Let's like fan these out a little bit. We'll take this one right here. The sun. The warrior. Ooh, master of the mystic light. Okay. Girl. Everyone's come to whatever today. Oh. Herald of the Awakening, Master of the Mystic Light. This is like, it's because of something that and look, there's the lovers again. And then the demon is still behind the lovers. This is like A++++ between Capricorn and Virgo, especially, but even with Taurus and Aries. Especially like Taurus, I would have to think on it's further away. My brain is already. There's something about accomplishment here. And I'm not, the more I try to remember Taurus, the more I'm pulled out. And my brain is just like, because I'm already barely keeping the. Oh, Sun in Gemini, Sun and Gemini. Boom, there you go. The Herald of the Awakening, it's like you are the master. You have become the master of the mystic light, and that is heralding the awakening. Something that you are doing, have done, accomplished, a point that you have reached makes it known. Like, especially if you're a trailblazer, Capricorn being a trailblazer, I'm not surprised. It's like the fact that you do something lets other people know that it's possible type energy. And it feels like this is a pathway different to that of Virgo. But there is something that you've accomplished or something that you've done despite Seven of Swords and the demon. Despite how tumultuous, stormy, rocky, whatever, Good night. Early start in the morning and you're still awake. Enjoy baby time. Hopefully I'll get to see you soon. Maybe we'll see. I wanted to go to London, but my friend's like, no. I'm like, I'm not working. Let me come stay for a little bit. But he's going to be in Canada. So anyway, it's fine. This could also be you going through battles that other people weren't aware of. This could be you having challenges and struggles that other people. Emily, hi, hello. There's my journey, buddy. This could be you going through things that other people don't even know about. I saw something the other day, and it kind of hit me because I don't necessarily want to die young or early. I was scrolling reels on Instagram, I'm sure, and I came upon one that mentioned how, just like in general, how women live longer than men, especially when it comes to stress. And when you're stressed, there's the fight, flight, or freeze. But in the real, they were like, women actually have a fourth response. And that's when they are stressed, they sort of like pull people in and they gather together and they like mitigate that stress. And so it doesn't leave them to a grave as early as a man who may be like, oh, I got this. I'll take care of it. I don't need to reach out to anybody for help. I'll solve it on my own. And now I'm like, well, I don't want to be, because I have so many people in my life who are like, if you need anything, like, I'm here. And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I got it. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, if I'm blessed to have the resources and the network and the people who want to help me, I don't have to figure out everything on my own. And it was like, okay. There's my iced coffee. Now for this Capricorn energy, maybe you did do it all on your own. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you did have some, because there's like a triple-headed goddess here. It could be three of them. Could be three separate ones, and they're just standing behind her. But this is something that you've overcome on your own that other people may not necessarily know about. And it's not like whether or not they know about it, but it's seeming more like, or maybe that's because, again, it's like, it's because Capricorn, because you do something, others know that it's possible. So maybe it's because you have made it through whatever this was, but still emerged victorious, that people know that it's possible. And also that you don't have to suffer in silence. I feel like we're getting further and further away from what I thought this was gonna be. Okay, High Priestess. We literally, if I ain't gonna tell her to stay in the deck if she meant to come out. Ooh, the burdened one. So yeah, and this is Saturn in Sagittarius. So Capricorn. Bottom of the deck is the Herald of the Earth. Dedication of the Adept. Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands. You are God's toughest soldier. I guess that's what it's reading like. God gives his hardest assignments to his toughest soldiers. You get the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Wands is the vehicle through which this comes out. So I guess this could also be like we don't know how strong we are until we have to be that strong. This could be things within you that almost like Mars, but in a different way. And I guess you're both like goats or rams or sheeps, or not sheeps, but like goats or ram type creature. um, excuse me. But when a situation happens, you rise to the occasion. You buckle down when you need to, and you get through it. No, this corner is a little bent. These aren't in print anymore. Oh no. Not my SKT. Let's get a message for this herald of the earth. The message of this herald is this card. I'm going to put it face down. That's the message of the herald of the earth. Because they come with messages. And again, did I already say we have the lovers here? And then there's the bereaved again. Lots of Isis energy, we'll say. Maybe I don't want to say it's your role. I don't want to say it's your purpose. Maybe that is some of what you gift to other people. By you going through whatever you go through, navigating whatever you navigate, however you navigate, by you overcoming, you show others that it's possible. And again, Saturn ruled, not surprised. And in a weird kind of way, it's almost like you can stand toe to toe with the divine. Like if they dish it, you you are an expert lemonade maker, no matter how many lemons you are given type energy. Because it's like you're the hands of the divine, sort of like handing out the task, and there you are like grabbing it. Like, I got it. I got it. If you want something done right and if you want something done right the first time, give it to Capricorn. Again, like you are an inspiration. And depending on, like, let's say your relationship with taking a compliment, or depending on how you view yourself, you may not even necessarily view yourself as inspirational as you are. Because it may be something that to you, you just do what you have to do. But to others, it's like, oh my gosh, like, you're just like, oh, like what? I'm just a Capricorning. Hello? Harmony in the blank card. Harmony and protection. Just a little Capricorning. Master of the Mystic Light. Well, I know that's like technically not his birthday, but Jesus is a Capricorn. December 25th. Hello, Capricorn season. Bottom of the deck, childlike expression. Maybe you make it look easy, Capricorn. Insight. It came out face down. Wow. Blue rose, like that's a thing, right? However, blue roses resonate for you. Insight and childlike expression is interesting because there's something about children that are, it's like children are known to be honest. Like, why do you this? Why do you that? Why is whatever? And for us adults or those who are uh, privy to sensitivities that people might have, be they vulnerabilities or insecurities, it's like, oh my gosh, like you can't just ask people that question. You can't just say that. But it's just like something of the insight of a child. I think there's also something very defiant about Capricorn because maybe it's because so the goat is the Capricorn is probably one of the only energies that can scale a mountain all by itself. You see the goats that crave that mineral, like perched up on the side of a sheer cliff wall face mountain, nearly completely vertical. And the goat is like right there. The goat is like, oh, this is just another whatever down the whatever. And so it's because you don't view things the way that other people view it. In a way, in whatever way. It's because you don't view things the way that other people views them. It's not as challenging for you. It's not as difficult for you because you don't look at it as a challenge. To see something as a challenge is to almost inherently and subconsciously add a lot more difficulty to it. Now, you could go like, oh, this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. Like, I thought this would have been whatever. But to think of something as a challenge, to view something as a challenge is to add resistance that may not even necessarily be there. But because your vision, because your insight, because your perception is so different, it's almost like it allows you to do the impossible fairly easily. And again, the childlike expression could be imagination. Maybe you're really good at coming up with solutions. Um, what's the word? Alternative solutions. You're really good at having contingencies, right? And it's like, well, if this doesn't work out, I have like 10 more plans and we can, and we're flexible. We'll get there. Don't worry about it. Type energy. This could also be about you learning to see yourself in a certain type of way. You learning that you are the master of this mystic light. And again, the vehicle through which that is delivered to you, the vehicle through which that awareness or insight into who you are and how you are, how it's delivered is the burdened one, the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands. It's by challenges that you continue to overcome, challenges that other people may let crumble under. And again, it's like it is about comparison, but it's not. It's not to be like, oh, well, I did this and I did that and nobody else can do it. But it's for you to know how like truly magnificent is the word that comes to my mind. It's about you truly knowing how spectacular you are. And how else would you sort of know that if you weren't put in these situations where you had to like find out? For you, because you are Capricorn, it reads as a lot less cruel than if it were somebody else, but it may not feel like it. Ooh, apocalypse, last judgment. What? This is the messenger of the earth. Dedication of the adept is bringing apocalypse. Y'all saw this apocalypse? The thing about the apocalypse is, though, again, here's the lovers right behind that card. We see this, like, again, this was like the physical and spiritual, the tangible and intangible, and how they're separated. But in apocalypse, in the palm of your hand, it is all one. We see the Kabbalah tree completed in your palms, whereas it's separated over here. Again, some Capricorn just does it better. I don't know if it's better. It's like you are someone who doesn't need to be assembled, I guess. These are so interesting. I'm like, what is this? Who are these zodiac signs? Like Patrick, like, who are you people? Complete as is. Or maybe it's for you to know, again, like this is you being at that point where you're like, where you may honestly like there's nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't overcome. There's nothing that you can't achieve. Like, you are that goat. The greatest of all time. Capricorn, you are the goat. Like, oh, y'all thought it was a coincidence that Capricorn was the mergoat? No. On the land, under the sea, Capricorn is on top. Capricorn is peak every time. I'm like, okay. All right, Capricorn. And it's not that you make it look easy. To some people, you may make it look easy, but more so than making it look easy, you make it look possible. Because you do it so easily. All right. Maybe we'll do one more. Like I said, I'm just going to go until... oh, look. There we go again. The warrior came right back out. Which is interesting because Capricorn, you are the herald of winter. Excuse me. So it's the day of... Well, I guess if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's the day of longest light. Well, I guess it would flip. So in the northern hemisphere, that's the day where the sun is, it occupies the least amount of time in the sky, is the winter equinox. No, winter solstice. Yes. But in the southern hemisphere, that's the summer solstice. And maybe that's the Mer part of you. You're always at your best. Archangel of Glory with Apocalypse at the bottom of the deck. Archangel of Glory. Cool. All right. Let's see what's next. What is next? I guess I shouldn't be on here for too long because there I am supposed to be productive today. Oh, it hit my knuckle, and we literally just did Capricorn. Oh, goodness. Let's see. All right, let's keep it on the table. Number 6, we've already done Virgo. Number 7, Libra. Libra. Libra, you are the first air sign. There's no water. No water so far. 141.05. Libra. Libra. The scales. Excuse me. Libra. Something about temptation, Libra. The ebony shield and the seeker. The ebony shield is the temptress in the deck to me. Oh, see, but then there's the Ace of Swords with the seeker. The seeker is the fool. No problem. The seeker is the fool that hits a roadblock. And they need a little help to get over it or around it. Like there's a key piece of information or two that will like spark the aha moment, get the light bulb going. But with the temptress there, it's almost like there's something that has the potential to tempt you away from it. And I don't know if that's for you to get comfortable in your own understanding, or on the other side, there is the breakthroughs that integrating that key piece of information will sort of give you. Maybe it's just about comfortabilities. Like if you're comfortable with where you are, you don't necessarily need to keep going, right? Like there's this show that I watched, and there was this little girl who was on the run because she was different, and she received a prophecy from someone who was gifted in prophecy. She was like, you're going to go on a long journey, but if you ever find somewhere that you want to stay, like, don't be afraid to basically like settle down, but more so like, don't be afraid to build a life there. It doesn't have to be as long as you think it might be. And in the show, the little girl goes on her journey. She finds the love and acceptance that she was denied. It turns out that the prejudice against her ended up leading to the downfall of that village, and they allowed their priestess to die because the priestess took care of the little girl, but the priestess ensured the harvest. Without the priestess to ensure the harvest, the town went under, and they blamed leadership, even though they were whipped into a frenzy by that very same leadership. Anyway. And she finds the place where she belongs, but she chooses to continue on her journey. And she says that up until that point, she was running away from something on her journey, but she didn't get to like really explore or enjoy the exploration of it because she was running. And so before she settles, she wants to experience that. Memory Keeper, I guess this is the Memory Keeper, Sun and Scorpio is the bottom deck. Who is that? Pisces, the wish granted. 9 of Cups, 6 of Cups. There you go. Jupiter and Pisces, trine the Sun in Scorpio. The card that came out is the Magus. Divinity in man. Powers of the spirit. Okay, Libra. Excuse me. As above, so below. Let's see how this plays out. Not plays out. Archangel of healing. Let me get one more. Angel who salves and purifies. Yeah, so it's partly about making peace with the past. It may be realizing all the things that you sort of like missed out on. And then the corruptor. Bottom of the deck is the Reaper. They're Scorpio. Sun in Scorpio is here. Venus is Scorpio. There's a lot of Scorpionic energy. Excuse me. We got Sun in Scorpio. Archangel Commander is behind the Sun in Scorpio. Because the Archangel Commander is behind it, it doesn't necessarily feel like something that you have to do. Angel of Storms and Battles. And then Venus and Scorpio. And then Scorpio. And the Empress. Venus. Oh, Venus and Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio. Look at that. Behind that is the champion, Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter in Leo, sorry. Excuse me. Oh, we have the corruptor here, and then the angel who salves and purifies here. Divinity and man, powers of spirit. And again, this doesn't feel like something that you had to do. It wasn't even necessarily something that you were strongly encouraged to. It feels like more like this is something that you chose to do. This is something that you chose to take on. Again, like she could have stopped her journey when she found that love and acceptance. But she realized that because she was running away and because it's because she was seen as how she was seen that she believed herself to be a lot less worthy than she was. And she concealed her identity. She spends most of the show as a boy because for a little girl, she was like 6 or something, 5 or 6. For a little girl to be traveling alone is to invite even more, whatever, than like if it's a little boy, you know, because that's how the world worked or works. And there are many secrets that she holds that she, in time, as she feels comfortable, that she shares. She's seen as incredibly weak and almost. So they have stars. I think it's like 1 to 3, maybe 1 to 5. And the stars are seen as a blessing from the gods. And of course, the more stars you have, the more powerful your ability, the more you're favored. And she's born with no stars. And they're like, oh my gosh, like the gods have rejected her. She is a child of calamity, like to be starless. Oh my gosh. But it's because she was starless that she was able to tame, befriend something that is so incredibly frail and fragile. Like she's a beast tamer or a monster tamer, and she tames this little slime where if the breeze is too strong, it'll kill it. If it falls from a height, like if it were to fall from a plant and hit the ground, it would die. And so if she had even one star, the magic that she exerted to tame the creature, it would have killed it. But it's because she had no stars that that bond and connection was able to be made. And then they had each other. And then over time, the slime grows with like the love and care and attention. It grows stronger, and it's this incredibly rare slime, again, because they die so easily. But it also has the ability to know the intentions of others. So it can tell when there's like a bad person, or it can tell when someone's lying. And because of that slime, there's this whole covert operation in the kingdom that's happening, and they're always like two steps behind. And it's because corruption is very, very, very deep and all up in that. And that's how they were always ahead. But it's because of the slime that they're able to identify, okay, who's an ally and who's not. Um, and so for the one that's on the run, it also helps her out. There are other things that the slime can do, like it can heal. Like it becomes this very powerful, very rare, very unique thing. But again, it's like if she were any stronger, if she were any tougher, if her journey was any different, if she was born any differently, then that connection, that bond wouldn't have been able to have been made. What does this mean for Libra? Read between the lines. I'm kidding. So, like, let's say that there is a situation that Libra's been in that has had them curse their fate or wonder why it is that they have experienced whatever it is that they've experienced. It's because of who someone is and where they are that there are certain bonds, connections, and opportunities that will be afforded to them. And it feels like if the main character was to curse her own weakness and to take it out on the slime, she would have killed it. If her own self pity, self hatred, self loathing, or distrust of the world, if she would have projected that onto that slime, it would have died. And it feels like we as people, there's this tendency to like punch down, or it's like, the dad has gets an earful at work, and so comes home and gives the mom an earful. The mom gives the child the earful. The child gives the dog the earful. It's like it's passed down. But there's something that, again, like whatever that time was, could have been Virgo, I don't remember. Um, it was Virgo. Like, you don't have to be completely healed. You don't have to be without any kind of heaviness, but whatever that is, like, it stays within you. It doesn't leach or bleed onto other people or onto things outside of you. And because of that, you can be a nurturer even in the face of everything that you experience internally, like truly and genuinely. And then because of that, it turns around and it nurtures you. So it's literally like the magician, it's creating something out of nothing. It creates love and community when it hasn't experienced it. It creates solution when it only knows problem. Like the question of if children are supposed to be better than their parents, but parents only know what was instilled in them, at what point is there anything new introduced into a bloodline, into a family line, or whatever? At what point is there different if we only have to pour into others what was poured into us? And it's because, like, you're it's partly like you're different, and it's partly like there's something within you that may have been within everyone that you maybe unwittingly and unknowingly, maybe wittingly and knowingly cultivate. You don't allow the world to make you unkind or bitter or jaded, even if your kindness has been taken for granted. And then again, eventually there comes that point in time where she starts to experience validation, where she meets the right people, where she discovers that, ooh, girl, I don't feel like crying today, so we're not going there. I'm already tired and I don't feel like it. I don't feel like going to sleep yet. And if I cry, I'm going to get tired and then I'm going to want to go to sleep. But like her life was validated. Because there was a point in time where she was like, what was I born for? Like, why do I exist if this is how I'm treated and if this is how I'm seen? She finds out it's because of her, again, that this whole operation is exposed. It's because of her that people find out that some of their most trusted and who they thought were the most loyal were like the ones kind of sort of behind it. And then it's like, how could you do this? Like, we grew up together. Like, we've been through this and we've been through that together. And like, you've been plotting and doing all of these things behind the scenes this whole time. People being people, girl. But besides that, regardless of that, revelation and clear your energy. The archangel of healing is here with the corrector, the angel who salves and purifies. It's because of who you are. It's because you are who you are and because your life and your path has been your life and your path that you are exactly what is needed and who is needed as you are. And whatever you think you need to be more, do more, whatever, like at some point you realize you don't. Capricorn and Libra were a little rougher. I think there's also something very Goobian. Blessings just turned over, but it turned back over. There's something almost very Goobian. Goob from Meet the Robinsons, and I talk about Goob every now and then. It's like, even if your experience has been typically one of challenge, difficulty, hardship, ostracization, isolation, it's like there are people in your life who genuinely love and support you as you. There are opportunities in your life that are genuinely for your benefit and your greater. But again, if the way that you see and feel about you prevents you from being able to engage in that, it's almost like you'll never see it. And the mirror is here in this corruptor. This is also the axe of Shiva that removes corruption. And then we see the death card, the Reaper. This is getting a little warm. Prosperity. Fulfillment at the bottom of the deck. Ooh, look, 4, 5, 6. Fulfillment and prosperity. This is what she finds by the end of her journey. We see the pomegranate here. And then again, there's the reaper there. The pomegranate is a fruit that grows in the underworld. It's like I think a desert rose may not actually be a rose. It's life that grows where nothing is expected to grow. It's almost like there are things in your life that validate who and what it is that you have been convinced that you are. And then there are things in your life that validate and confirm who you are. And the trick is to see which is which. I think this could also be a not great relationship with, like, this is could be an energy of like someone who struggles to like take a compliment. Um, just because, again, like it feels like there are genuine opportunities and people and things in your life, in the life of Libra. And if they can look at how their own internal image of self and how their view on life and the circumstances around it are at play, like you may see, it's like you'll be able to see those things. And then that's when you come into your internal divinity or the power of your divinity. And it feels like it recontextualizes like everything. It's what helps you see the truth. And it's a truth that you see because you choose to. You're given the opportunity, you're given the choice. And then things change. And then things really change. Then it's like it goes into Venus. And I think this is like, did Taurus do this? I feel like it was Mars, honestly. But it's like then you get this bigger picture of who and what you are. It's like you stop being Libra and you start being Venus. Venus rules Libra. Also, the scales are in the six of, this is Moon in Taurus. Taurus is the other side of Venus. It stops being this like polarity back and forth game and it becomes you and all of your everything. And again, the thing here is like it's already given to you. What it is the magician, divinity in man, power in spirit, the divinity within you, the power of your spirit. It's given to you, but you'll recognize it. It's like it has to be something that you recognize. And then again, like with the prosperity here, on the other side of the Seven of Cups, it's just like untold. It's huge. And that's what changes the game. What changes the game is you seeing it. What changes the game is you choosing it. I feel like I saw something. Somebody on Instagram shared something that was like, it was like a text message from God. And it was like, you don't need anything. You already have everything that you need, or you don't need anything. It's already inside of you, or something like that. And that's very much so this. The trick is like getting you to see it, or you allowing yourself to see it. And maybe because Libra is the scales and Libra is about balance, maybe that's why it's almost like your challenge. It's like you inherently are the recipient of both. Almost always, maybe. You are exposed to, or you encounter what it is that you believe to be true and what it is that is true. And it's your own internal configuration that has you lean either way. And whichever side you lean on is the side that gets more support, is the one that it's easier for you to believe as true or to see as true more and more and more. Maybe it was like Taurus or Libra. I don't know if it was Mars. Maybe it was Libra. Or was it Taurus? Was it like a new moon in Taurus? Or was it the full moon in Libra? I don't know. I know there was a sign lately. Was it Libra? I don't remember. There was a zodiac energy lately. There was a sign, I think. And it was like, instead of you seeing yourself as whatever, you become the whole. Like, you become Venus. You're no longer Libra. Even more. The ivory shield is here. The ivory shield, especially in the Vitruvian edition, it's up to you to go beyond and to see for yourself. It's a point that I'm not allowed entry to, because it's like between you and the divine. It is deeply sacred, deeply internal. And then we have the hollow void there. This is very much so the energy of what if your greatest fear isn't that you're not enough, but it's that you are more than you can perceive, or something like that. And then there's the Empress. She came out with the Quester at the bottom of the deck. All right, Libra. And again, it's once you have that breakthrough, that realization, it changes the game completely. And there were so many people that little girl encountered that genuinely, like, they caught on to her situation. And then they were like, I wish she would stop running. Like, she has a place to go. Or like, the first ones were like, I wish she had trusted us to tell us the truth. But she was going through her own thing. So they could understand that, because again, like, she was a little girl. She's like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think by the end of it, she was 9. And they were like, oh, like, you're really small for a boy. And she was like, I'm 9. And then, whatever. She did it to protect herself, and they knew it. And they loved and they cared about her. So nobody gave her flack for it. They were just like, I wish she didn't feel like she had to do that. But again, it was there the whole time. And that's how it works sometimes. All right. Excuse me, we'll do one more. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to finish these. I might. I may not. Or maybe I'll do the other half in a different way. I don't know. I'm not going to do all 12 today because it's starting to get warm in here. Ooh, a face down card. I'm going to keep this card face down for whoever the sign is. And you're going to start with the Whisper of Lord Ganesha. Number 4, Cancer, the first water sign. Look at every element has expressed in cardinal modality first, except for Earth. Earth came out with Taurus. Aries was the first fire sign. Libra was just the first air sign. And now Cancer is the first water sign. Interesting. So we'll go 2, 11, 45. Cancer. Cancer, it's almost your season. Venus and Mercury are already in Cancer. Cancer, your Whispers of Lord Ganesha card came out face down, and I was like, cool, let's honor it. Let's take it. Wholeness. Number 24. This is giving me Chariot energy. Like how the Chariot it corresponds to Cancer, and it's about putting both forces on the same page. I almost wonder, I feel like not necessarily, but the energy that comes to mind, it's almost like, I don't know if it's a clash between the cardinal modality of Cancer and its water element. It feels like Cancer is like trying to prove something, or Cancer feels like it has something to prove. And the feeling of having something to prove causes more internal separation, because to feel that you have to prove something is to almost simultaneously acknowledge that you are not that thing. Because if you were, why would you have to prove it? Truths stand on their own 2 feet. It doesn't need reality is the supporting evidence of truth. And it's not circumstantial. I'm going to do this whole thing backwards. How is this expressing? Look, there's the healer. The healer and the destroyer. The destroyer and the blind seer. The healer and the destroyer and the blind seer, there's almost a cutting at your own ankles sometimes. Who was that? It hit the table face down. All of these Cancer cards are coming out face down. I want one more, please. Or maybe not. Yeah, let's go not. I'm not reading the bottoms of the deck yet either. The wish granted, Jupiter and Pisces. Wholeness and the wish granted. This energy for Cancer is gorgeous. Is that the Trishula Shiva? It's kind of reading like it today. Maybe it is. Excuse me. The axe of Shiva and the Trishula trident of Shiva, they both remove corruption. I think there's a complexity. Maybe wholeness almost implies complexity. And honestly, I'm looking at the six-pointed star, and it's giving me earth, water, fire, air. Like the glyphs for all of the elements are within that, and combined, it's like the Merkaba or spirit or ether or whatever. But with this Nine of Cups, there's something about like a multidimensionality or a multifacetedness. So maybe you, like, maybe there's a Cancer that is multifaceted, but there is almost internal conflict. So it's like, in order for Cancer to prove that they are whatever, they overly emphasize certain aspects of themselves and they downplay, diminish, and mute other aspects. So again, there's something about it that creates internal tension that doesn't necessarily need to be there. But not only does it not need to be there, it's like it exacerbates certain things. And there's just like you being one thing doesn't make you any less of who you are, right? Like, let's say this is terrible. It's a terrible example, but it's like it's fresh in my brain and it's easy. Like, let's say that you identify as like gothic or something like that, but you also like enjoy pop music. I don't know, like you liking pop or like this a few certain pop songs doesn't make you any less of a goth. But in order to fit in those circles, you go harder on that and you like downplay your enjoyment for other things. And so it's almost like you cause yourself to suffer or you invite suffering willingly. I don't want to say willingly. That internal polarization invites further discomfort. But whatever this is, it's coming to you through a granted wish. But it feels like it's like these are multiple wishes. These are like this is things that speak to multiple parts of who you are. And maybe because the granting of this wish speaks to multiple parts of who you are, it allows you to safely acknowledge all of those parts. Now, what is it? I see the Gardener and the Archangel of Mysteries. The Stronghold of the Veil and the Archangel of Mysteries. There's a card, 3 cards, 4 cards face down. What is this? And again, like all of these cards so far have come out face down. Ooh. Shout out to Virgo with the bread of life. And also Taurus with the defector. Bottom of the deck is the Outlaw, which is water, Pisces. Sacrifice and redemption. Ace of Orbs, the Darkening, and then the Defector, Saturn and Pisces. You get Jupiter and Saturn in Pisces. There's like this energy. Does this make sense? Like, if you've seen Naruto, when Naruto was learning how to do the Rasengan by swirling the chakra. Oh, that's weird. And okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. By getting the water inside of the balloon to like swirl. But if he put in too much energy, it would like pop. So like there's this expansion, contraction, almost something like pulsating or thrumming. And I guess it's this bread of life, Ace of Orbs right here. It's a contraction that's delivered through expansion, which makes sense. It's like you get more defined on who you are. Like you can single in on something because of exposure to everything else. It's like 21 questions. The more knowledgeable you are of the world outside or around, the more you are knowledgeable of yourself when you allow yourself to be. Girl, wait. We have the memory keeper again at the bottom of the deck over here. Libra just had the memory keeper at the bottom of the Vitruvian edition. You have the Hector, 5 of Swords. 6 of Cups, 5 of Swords. I don't know if this is someone who's like, maybe you are a Cancer of affluence, or maybe you are a Cancer born into a certain social sector where it's like, oh, well, you can't do this and you can't be that. And I guess you don't have to be affluent or be like, you could be a man who has emotions, who isn't a rock, who likes pop music. But that's not manly to whatever. You could be a woman who doesn't fit to whatever cookie cutter box of womanliness is, whatever. Like it doesn't have to be so whatever. This is almost like baby stepping you though to something with this like expansion contraction. It's like expand, contract, expand, contract. It's like an amoeba, I guess. Like you like that. It's like doing this as it's moving forward. And then we have personal transformation again at the bottom of the deck. Wholeness and personal transformation. These cardinal signs are, the energy of the cardinal signs, I feel like is a little bit different. Maybe. I don't know. And again, almost like Libra, because in Libras, it was already there. Because the vehicle for you is the 9 of Cups. It's like it's gonna be there. The vehicle is wish fulfillment. The vehicle is you getting what you want or things working out for you. But it feels like the vehicle has the potential to exacerbate the problem. And I guess that's been a theme with like all of these is like, how well do you know yourself and how comfortable are you in that knowing? And how comfortable are you with yourself? Because it feels like a wish granted could invite um, difficulty, especially if there is this internal polarization. again, like let's say you're the goth that also loves pop music, and one of your favorite artists, like one of your favorite pop artists, is having a concert, and someone's like, "Hey, here's front row seats. Do you want to go?" And then you're like, okay, well, if I go to the concert, of course I'm going to take pictures and post it on my socials, or like I may end up on someone else's picture in the background on someone else's picture, and I'm supposed to be a goth. So like I want to go, but I don't want people to know that I'm going. And it becomes this whole thing. Like this is something that I really want, but if I were to go after it, then like what does that say about me? Or my cover will be blown, or then people will know something, and I'm operating under this pretense that in order to be this, I have to be whatever. Like if that's where this Cancer is, again, I can see the wish granted causing more trouble than it sort of like being good, if that makes sense. But the purpose of it is wholeness, for you to accept that, or for you to get comfortable with this also being who you are. You don't have to be so flat or one dimensional or two dimensional. And it feels like this runs the gamut of things from small to large, because the Ace of Pentacles is here with the defector. It could be little things that eventually snowball or build up into bigger things. It's like, okay, if I can be comfortable doing this, then maybe I can also be comfortable like doing that, and it not making me any less of who I am or whatever. I don't know. Like that's how it's reading. And maybe it's because cardinal energies are cardinal energies, almost because like you set the tone, that it is a little bit more, not necessarily more pressure, but that it manifests a little differently. But I guess that makes sense, right? If we look at the modalities as different uh, personalities or bodies, not everything is administered in the same way. And so the administration for cardinal modalities seems to be a little bit more about like who you are and what you're doing, like it was for Capricorn and even for Aries. But Aries was like almost like Piscean. Aries was like, well, I guess Aries is like Pisces ages into the veil, and Aries has just emerged from it. But with the different modalities, it's been about like you and the choices and decisions that you make, and almost like the precedent that you set. And some of the other ones had like similar ones, but they were almost more internal. What comes for? I mean, wholeness and personal transformation is here. So that's what comes. It feels like it allows you to, it feels like you allowing you to be yourself completely and fully will empower you to like contribute or participate in spaces where your presence is required or requested. And it feels like before this resolution, there may be a temptation to like try to be who you think you have to be, try to say the things that you think you have to say. It's like being a yes person instead of a trailblazer. Like you are cardinal water. You are the establisher of the new flow. You like are the vibe curator or the vibe maker. You set the path and direction, and then everything else follows. So if you were to follow instead of lead, then it creates like this spiral, like a dog chasing its own tail, because it's like this instead of it being whatever. Right? And of course, with the Six of Cups, this could be Six of Cups in the outlaw. Maybe the reason why you feel you have to, I think I already talked about that though. The reason why you feel like you may have to overly emphasize and downplay certain parts of yourself is because of pressures from the past or whatever. Like maybe you, or even like, let's say you're a parent. And so maybe now your kids are grown, but when they were younger, like you had to put yourself on the back burner in order to be a nurturer, carer, provider for someone else or something else. But now that it's your time, it's like you have to put yourself at the forefront a little bit. So I don't know. But that's what we got. Blah, 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 blah. You got this, Cancer. The world could use a whole lot more of you. And it's, say, 2, 31, 40 for final cards. I don't know if I'll finish the other 6 or not. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, thank you. I was like, oof. Oh, and look. Page of Cups. Stronghold of the Grail. Let's get these final cards. Get these final cards. Curds. I just saw the Stronghold of the Veil. Oh, there it is right there. Again. What is it? Herald of the Earth. Page of Cups in one deck, Page of Pentacles in the other. Again, like you are Cardinal water. You set the trend. It's almost like if Cancer Cardinal water was the valley or the river that fills with water. Or like Cancer Cardinal water, like you would be the first of the rains that erode the rock into the valley. Right? Cool. Ooh, that was interesting. All right, we'll do the Whispers of Lord Ganesha first. Splendor and personal transformation. Childlike expression and splendor. I guess the South Node is in Libra right now. Maybe that's why Libra read the way they read. Especially like if there's a significant transit or, a significant transit, especially the North Node and South Node. It may sort of like hijack the read a little bit more than like you as a whatever personally. Like Libra, that could be like Libra overall. Cancer, we're about to enter Cancer season. We're going to have 2 Capricorn full moons, Venus and Mercury conjuncted 0 degrees Cancer. Right. You know, you got more than one placement, so maybe look into I don't know. So, I'm gonna have to go to the restroom. Trying to hold it together, because once I go, I won't step. All right, Whispers of Whispers of Lord Ganesha. We got a card that flipped over. It could have been 2 because it's the blank card. Courage. Courage, help me. Courage, number 50. Bottom of the deck is understanding. Courage and understanding. It is a time to be courageous, but to also extend understanding. Courage is the last card, 50 out of 50. The warmth of your open heart can give comfort to all who cross your path. The root word for courage is the French word for heart. Courage comes from the heart. It is an inner strength guided by love, which seeks truth and justice. While you have the courage to be true to yourself, you start to feel empowered to act and live in ways true to your own soul without any illusion. Ganesha is urging you to let down your guard and stop wearing a mask. Begin to have more respect for yourself as well as for others. Beware. I was like, beware, be aware, beware. Beware of making harsh judgments about yourself and others. When you come from the heart, you will find that you relate better to others. Your innate gifts will be able to shine through. You are capable of leadership, achievement, and inspiring others to succeed through your own success. When you draw this card, it is a sign that your ability to cooperate and thrive in peer ventures with like-minded individuals is heightened. Be willing to do what is needed for things to run smoothly for you. Ganesha promises great success if you are willing to let down your walls. He is pictured here on the powerful lion, inherited from his mother. The lion represents the fierce nature of Ganesha. He calls on you now to trust the fearless part of your being, your own inner lion, and invites you to work with him to learn how to be valiant and harness your heart's greatest courage. I feel like that's pretty applicable to like everything. All the things that came out today. It's all about that courage. Courage! I don't know if y'all have ever seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, but that's what that's from. Muriel. Courage, help me! And bottom of the deck was understanding. There you go again. Possibility and potentiality, but however long it lasts is up to us. So maybe the courage of the whispers of Lord Ganesha and this keeper here is to put us in a position to be able to maintain whatever it is that we're about to come into in our lives, to cement ourselves into new seasons and new cycles, rather than it being like a temporary break or a temporary reprieve. Bottom of the deck is the necromancer, the moon, Pisces. The gateway of resurrection. But this could be the resurrection of something that has died within us. Maybe it's our childlike glee, our hopefulness, our whatever. It's to bring it fully back to life. So, all right, see you later, Perry. Like in true Patrick fashion, I'm like, half paying attention. Hallowed Flame, Ace of Scepters, The Awakening is the bottom of the deck. The Shining Gale, Winds of the Sylph is the card that came out. This is Heaven Over Fire. We've seen this Knight of Swords recently. Speaking of the moon, the Knight of Swords was the deck dungeon challenge. This was the Knight of Swords. And it was something that was obsessing over the puzzle. And if we could draw the knight's attention away from its obsession, even for a moment, then it would unlock the door. Now, if we can solve the puzzle for the knight, then it gave us the hooves of the Zephyr, or the horseshoes of the Zephyr, that made all terrains easy to navigate, and it allowed us to move at speed for 12 hours and exert no exhaustion. Now, with this one in particular, this is giving me almost a dissertation, but it's almost like we're given the answers to something, and it's our ability to follow direction, to carry it out, to apply whatever it is that we know or that we've learned to real life to come up with some kind of solution. So anyway, excuse me. Thank you all for stopping by and spending time. I hope you all have an amazing whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and way you find. As always, take it as it resonates. If it resonates, when it resonates. And if it don't resonate, don't take it. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Wish me luck and not procrastinating.